Today I am showing you how to make Bambara nut porridge. Just like you will pick your normal beans, that's how you will pick the Bambara beans. Now the Bambara beans, or popularly known as Okpa in the East, is bigger than the normal beans. Other people like to call it groundnut because it is gotten from the ground, unlike beans that grows on a vine. Sort of. This one grows underneath the ground. The nut grows underneath the ground just like groundnut. You can see the body or the shell feels just like groundnut. So that's why they call it groundnut sometimes, but it's popularly known as Bambara beans or Bambara nuts. So you just pick out the shell, pick out the stones, pick out any foreign object that is not supposed to be in there. It also has weevils like normal beans. So if you see the ones that have lots of weevils in them, if it's too big, you can remove it so that you are not chewing weevils. But if you don't mind to call it extra protein, you can leave it in. Our beans picked, the next thing I'm going to do is to cook it in a pressure cooker. Now I believe that's one reason why some people do not like to cook okpa as porridge, probably because it takes longer than beans to cook. But these days it is easy for you because we all have pressure cookers in our houses, either electric or manual pressure cooker. Now I got this pressure cooker, it's a new one, so I'm just going to use it to cook my Bambara nut. If you have a pressure cooker, you can use it to cook your Bambara nut. If you have the manual pressure cooker, you can use it. If you still don't have, the best way to do it is you soak it overnight, cook it in the morning, and your Bambara beans will not take so much time to cook. It will be like almost the same cook time with your normal beans. Okay? Alright, so I'll get to it now. Just before I put it in the pressure cooker, I'm going to rinse it. Now, I just asked a question on my Instagram, Gina Foodies and Spice on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should follow me. A lot happens there daily. And on Facebook, Foodies and Spice as well. YouTube, Gina Foodies and Spice. So I just dropped this question and asking them if they know the seeds. And I see a lot of people confusing the Bambara seeds or Bambara nut for macadamia. Now, it might look so much alike. It might look like macadamia nuts, but these are not macadamia nuts. These are Bambara nuts. Macadamia grows on trees. Yeah. This Bambara grows in the ground just the way groundnut grows. So don't confuse it. And these are not chickpeas too. We also have chickpeas in Nigeria, but this is not chickpea. Chickpeas are a bit smaller than the Bambara nuts. My beans is clean now, and I'm going to put it inside my pressure cooker. I'll just turn that open. Now, Bambara nuts or beans are very, very nutritious. And one thing I can tell you, it's cheaper than normal beans in the market. I bought a pale paint bucket, the usual paint bucket, for 2,500 naira. And I'm sure it's because it's Lagos. Maybe in smaller towns, you can buy it for cheaper. I'm going to add water for it to cook. This is a pressure cooker, so if you are using a pot, a normal pot that is not a pressure pot, you should add enough water because it will cook for as much as an hour to an hour, 30 minutes or more. But this is going to cut down that cooking time because I'm using a pressure pot. Cover it now. So, but before I turn it on, I want to blend my tomatoes, pepper, and onions because I'm using the same power source so that we don't overwork the power source. So I'm going to blend my tomatoes, pepper, and onions for frying first before I turn the pressure cooker on. So I have my tomatoes, pepper, and onions blended now. I'm just going to put this aside for a moment while I start cooking the Bambara beans. So when using a pressure cooker, even if it's the manual one, make sure it is locked. They always put sign for lock or open. So make sure it's on lock. So this is open, I can open it, and this is locked. So you lock it. Make sure the vent is down. because you want the pressure to cook it. So if it's escaping from anywhere, it's going to cook like a regular pot. So you keep that pressure in. And this is sealed, this is released. So I do the seal. Yeah? So everything will cook in there, sealed. Some of those electric pressure cookers, they have like automatic setups already. So this has poultry, beans, soup, to slow cook, to manual cook, porridge, steam, meat, brown, saute. So I am cooking beans today. If I'm using the automatic, I just need to click on beans. So, but it's giving me 20 minutes to cook beans, which I doubt that it will cook this Bambara nut for 20 minutes, but who knows, it could. We will check when it stops, but I am estimating about 30 minutes to 40 minutes for the Bambara beans for it to be very, very soft. So I'm going to start it now. Okay, while this is cooking, let's go and fry our sauce. I have my pot on the cooker right now. I'll be adding some palm oil. I'm adding salt to the palm oil. You don't need your palm oil to bleach, you just need it to be hot. I have my onions to saute. I will take it to the point of almost caramelizing before I pour the tomatoes, pepper, and onions. So I'll add bay leaf and about half tablespoon of ginger. Stir on it, cover it to cook. It's about 4 minutes before our pressure cooker will go off. And this one, I've been turning it from time to time. I've opened, turned it for about, the aroma. I've turned it for about 3 to 4 times and still turning it on low heat. So while I'm waiting for the 3 minutes before the pressure cooker goes off, I'll rinse the potato. I told you we are eating it with fried potato, and my team, they just looked at me and said, we should add some fish or so. We're going to get some fish and we'll add fried fish to this dish today. Okay? We are not eating the potatoes with the skin. We are going to be peeling it. But if you want to keep the skin, it still works perfect. So that is my beans cooked. I am going to just open it up. Okay, it even has the seal release, so no need for this one. You have to be very careful when working with a pressure cooker because of the pressure. So before I open it, because you can't open it now, if you open it now, it's going to be like a burst of steam and it can burn you or injure you. So I'm going to do the release and allow the steam come out. You can see that. So that way the steam is released. It will be cooler for me to open. The smell coming from this steam is just like beans. Yeah, just like your beans when it's in the pressure cooker. There's actually no difference. It's just like bean smell. So I'll allow it release, and before I'll check it. If it's not done, I'll add a little bit more water and cook it. If there's water, I'll continue cooking it. Okay? So that's how a pressure cooker works. The same thing if it's your manual pressure cooker, you will do the same thing. The last time I traveled, so I got a crinkle cutter. So I'll be using the crinkle cutter to cut the rest of this potato, just to give it a beautiful shape. So it's not like the same thing all the time. The crinkle cutter is beautiful. You can see, you can use it to cut your yam, carrots, vegetable, anything at all. It gives it a beautiful look. And when you serve your children or your guests, it's like you're serving something new. All right, okay. So I'll set this aside before I start frying. Let me check up on my beans. It's cooled now. I'm going to open it. Wow. So I'm going to take a spoon now to check how done this is. This is soft, but it can get softer. It cooked for about 25 minutes. So I added extra 5 minutes to it before. But I have to cook it again. It's not, there's still like, it's not done. But if you wanted to eat it like granite, the way they eat granite, this is fine. But for this beans recipe, we have to cook it again. So I'll give it another 10 minutes or 15. Let's just say 15. So, but before I finish frying the potato, it should be done. Now, I'll give it 10 minutes instead of the 15 because I want to cook it inside that sauce. Now, two ways. Is either I pour the sauce in here for it to cook, or I put the beans into the sauce. Either way. All right, but I prefer to put the beans inside the sauce. So I'll just add a little more water and cover it to cook. Make sure you put it on seal so that the steam does not escape. Now it's time for my potatoes. Potatoes are cooking, looking good, looking pretty. So I'm going to release the steam now. Approximately it has cooked for 40 minutes. So I'll release the steam now. If it's soft enough, I send it to my sauce. Once this red button goes down, it was up before. As it's heating up, the red button will come up. So once you release the steam, if the button goes down, that means it's cool now. Okay? So I'm going to open it. All right. The beans is very, very much cooked now. Oops, this is hot. Now that is soft beans. So I'm going to be transferring it to the sauce in a bit. Let me get my first batch of potatoes out. Now it's time for me to transfer the beans to the sauce. Okay, so I'm getting the pot out from here and we're going to put it inside here. Now, Bambara beans porridge is always very creamy, has this creamy texture. I think it will make very good milk as well, vegetarian milk. The creaminess is beautiful. So I have all my beans from the pressure pot inside the sauce. And just before I mix it, I'm going to season with my seasoning powder. And I'll add some salt. Like it has this very creamy texture. Now I'm going to taste for seasoning. This is so tasty, like extremely tasty. I honestly don't know why you guys don't add Bambara nuts or Bambara beans to your diet. Like it is so tasty, you really need to try this. It is tastier than the regular beans, even tastier than honey beans. Like it's so good, so good. What I'm going to do next is to add some water, a little bit, to allow it to incorporate very well with the sauce. This is so, so good. Then cover it to cook on low heat for about till when it is dry, sort of. Okay, I'll remove this last set of potatoes. So my golden brown crinkled potatoes are ready. I'll turn the oil off, take my salt meal and salt it. Okay. I will keep it in the oven. Perfect. Okay. And I'll drop the fish. I just finished frying my fish. Now fish is ready. This beans is ready now. So I'm just gonna stir on it. It's really creamy, like very, very, very creamy. And absolutely tasty too. I'm being very honest with you. It's absolutely tasty. If you've never tried it, please go to any of the big markets in your town. You find it where they sell grains, where they sell beans. You find it there. Just ask for Bambara Nut or Okpa beans. Yeah, they know it everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, food done. I'm not sure my guest is coming today, but it'd be like saying, oh, let me go chop my food. So let's go and take pictures. Food done. So, Okpa and chilled Coca-Cola is a delicacy in the eastern part of Nigeria. Like Okpa goes well with Coke. So, this is not the Okpa cooked in the way we cook moi moi. This is Okpa porridge. Trust me, they are both going to go well together. But first, I've been working since morning. It's not easy to cook Okpa and fry potatoes and fry fish as well. I need this for refreshing. Thank you. Yeah, so let's get to this. This Okpa is sweet. I tasted it in the pot. Like, I did not believe this taste. It's fantastic. I said you need pressure cooker to cook this, but if you don't have, you just need to soak it overnight. Soak it overnight, and by the time you're cooking it the next day, it might not take too long, but you need a pressure pot.
If you like this video, please give me a thumb up, share and comment. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, do click on the subscribe button and notification bell to enjoy more of my recipes.